You want to change your life, but you don't know where to start. Well, I've been there too. And now, being a few years into my journey of leveling up my life, these are some things that have actually really helped me to change my life for the better. So let's get into it. And for reference, if I am looking to the side, it is because I have like some points that I want to talk about. They're on my computer, which is right here. So if I'm looking to the side, that's why I'm looking to the side. So the first thing I want you to consider as someone who really wants to change their life is your purpose. Your purpose, your why behind why you want to change your life. So changing your life is the what, and your purpose is your why. Your purpose can be a lot of things. Your purpose could be the real reason behind why you want to change your life, and the reasons behind why you want to change your life. So for reference, I started focusing on changing my life and improving my life like actively a few years back, and I started doing that at one of my lowest points in life. So I was like quite at rock bottom at the time I started to want to change my life. And because I was already at such a low point in my life at that time, that I was like, anything that I do to improve my life, even if it's a little thing, will be like a big jump for me, and it will be better than not doing anything at all. So I was at my rock bottom and I chose to change my life at that time. And I did little things. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I did things anyway. And yeah, so your purpose could be a lot of things. Your purpose could be anything. Your purpose could just be wanting to live a better life. Your purpose could be wanting to live a healthier life. Your purpose could be, I just want to be happier. I want to improve myself. I want to improve my life. It could be a lot of things. Or it could be like you want to improve your mental health. Like your purpose can be a lot of things, but knowing your purpose, knowing the reason why you want to change your life is so important, because I think a lot of people just go straight into it. They're like, oh, I want to change my life because everyone else around me is doing it, or I want to change my life because that's what, that's what you should do, that's like the right thing to do. But having a solid purpose is like having a solid base. If you don't have a solid base, a solid foundation, your actions, your goals aren't going to remain. They're not going to be long term. So having your strong, solid purpose is very important. Now, another thing I want to say connected to this whole thing of knowing your purpose is some people will know their purpose straight away. Like, I knew my purpose behind why I wanted to change my life was because I was already at rock bottom. Like, I only had like no way to go but up from there, right? Because I was already feeling pretty like low, and like my life was already like absolutely not what I wanted, and I was not feeling happy and everything. So I knew like whatever I would do, it would just help me, improve my life anyway, because I was at such a rock bottom place. So that was my purpose, and I knew like I only had like up, like I was only gonna go up from here. So I was very much like strong in my purpose, and that's how I started. But some people know their purpose straight away. Other people will maybe like think about it for some time, maybe a few minutes they'll know, a few days, a few months, whatever, like. But just like thinking about it and just knowing like what your purpose is and getting to know your purpose, realizing the importance of it, is very important as well. So you can write about it. You could like write about your purpose. You could like write it down, like what is my purpose behind changing my life, and then maybe like write down whatever comes in your mind. You could talk to yourself about it. Like, I like to talk to myself in the mirror all the time. I do it all the time. It's so much fun. And I feel like I learn a lot about myself when I talk to myself in the mirror. Or you could talk to somebody else, whoever you trust, maybe a friend, a parent, like whoever you trust and whoever you want to talk to about. And like there's many ways you can do this. So getting to know your purpose. Your purpose also doesn't have to be like the biggest thing in the world. Like, it could be something small. Like, it could just be like, small and big are like subjective, right? But it could just be like, you want to be happier, or you want to live a better life. Like, that's not necessarily a small thing, but it doesn't have to be like a world changing big like purpose anyway. It could be anything. It could just be like getting better each day. Whatever it is, get to know your purpose, and that will help you actually stay focused on your track and on your goal to actually changing your life. So this is probably like one of the biggest things you can do, and one of the biggest things that will help you. So that was the first point. Now the second point that I want to go into is to really and actually change your life, you need to start and begin by focusing and changing yourself. Now, why is that? Because actually, before I go into that, I want to talk about what most people are actually doing right now. So yeah, and this is what I did too when I began. So it's like, it's you know, it's not a big deal. Like, it's a pretty common like beginner mistake, I would say, but that's okay to make. But still, if you can learn about it, you know, you can learn about something better, then you should. And from my experience, I can tell you it's better if you go this way. Most people, when they want to change their lives, will just be like, okay, I'll change, you know, things that are happening in my life, or blah blah, I'll change external circumstances. That's what most people would think about when they think about changing their lives. But if we really think about it, changing your life results from changing yourself. Why is that? Because you are the main driving force and factor in your life. You are literally the person that your life is surrounding around. Like, it is your life for a reason, right? So if you remain the same and you expect external circumstances and your life to change, that's not really going to happen, because real growth is going to come from you changing yourself. Now, what can you change about yourself? Your mindset, your limiting beliefs, like working on them, healing yourself from trauma, from like bad past experiences, and your subconscious thinking, things like that. Like, these are like the big factors that will really and actually help you to change your life and, like, you know, level up a lot. Because most people, when they think about changing their lives, they're thinking about external things. They're thinking appearance, they're thinking style, they're thinking, you know, maybe getting more popular, or I don't even know, like a lot of external things. And yes, it's fun and it's good to also change external things. I'm not saying that doesn't help. It does help. You know, if you want to change yourself, you want to experiment with new things, new hair, I don't know, piercing, style, whatever it is, jewelry. But really, the real growth, the most like tangible growth, comes from internally. You can change those external things, absolutely do it, whatever it is you want to do, but also focus on the internal, because without the internal, the external isn't gonna do much, and it's very, very temporary. Like, you won't feel true genuine happiness or gratitude, or even feel like you've changed much or grow, like you even grew much, if you just focus on the external. So focus on the external, but really, really focus on the internal as well. So the way you feel about your life is very important. The way you feel about yourself is very important. These things, improving these things. And I will get into these topics as well more in the future videos as well. And if you guys want to see videos like this, like, tell me, comment down, give me more ideas for videos like these and what you guys want to see as well, because I will be reading through them and I will be implementing your suggestions as well. So yeah, the biggest thing is most people do the other way around. They think changing their life is going to change themselves, but real growth, real changing your life comes from changing yourself, which results in changing your life. So that was the second point, one of the main points as well. Third point that I want to get into is honing in on what you can do that is in your power and controlling whatever is in your power. Now, I have seen so many people, so many people that will just focus on trying to, like again, changing external circumstances, changing external things, like people that are outside of them or outside of their control. Like, you can't change anybody else. Who you can really change is yourself. So again, this like ties into my second point that I just made previously. But it's doing whatever you can in your own power, that is in your own control, to change your life. Because if we try to change other people, first of all, we cannot change anybody else, okay? You cannot change anybody else. You can motivate them, you can inspire them, but you cannot change them. You can only change yourself. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're just going to focus on changing ourselves, not external circumstances, not things we can't control, not other people, because we can't control them. We can only control ourselves. So that's what we're going to do. Now, what is in your power? Your decisions, your actions, the way you show up for yourself, the way you show up for other people that matter to you, and also that don't matter to you and are toxic to you, because that also is important. The way you show up for them as well. And to be honest, you shouldn't be showing up for toxic people anyway. That's what I mean when I say this. And your reactions, your mindset, your energy, the way you carry yourself, these things are the things that you can control, that are in your control. Obviously, no change is gonna happen overnight, okay? That's not gonna happen. And the overnight changes aren't the ones that you're gonna be too happy about anyway, because they're very temporary and very fleeting. Like, the happiness is very fleeting and you won't feel much at all. But the true, genuine happiness and growth comes from focusing on what's in your power, but simultaneously, and it's gonna happen gradually. We all learn gradually. I learn gradually. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And it's also letting go of things that are not in our control, that are not in our power. So again, things like what people think about you, what other people think about you, how they perceive you. And look, I am still very much learning this, and I am also like letting go of this, because like this is something that is pretty big in our society, and especially with young people. And I think young women and young girls, like, we are just like wired in a way to like think about like what other people think about us. So this is one of the big things that I think we're all trying to let go very much of, because it literally doesn't matter how anyone else perceives you. The way you perceive yourself is what's in your control and what truly matters. So letting go, this is an example, letting go of what other people think you and how they perceive you, and caring about how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself, and that's what matters to you. That's what's in your control. That's what you should focus on instead. Okay, now getting into my next point, which is to keep learning about self-growth, about self-improvement, about leveling up your life, about improving your life, because knowledge really is key. And I am like a few years into this now, right? And I have made a lot of growth. I have made a lot of improvement. I have learned and grown so much as a person, as an individual. But still, I am learning every day. I am learning through my own experiences, from interacting with the world, with interacting with myself and getting to know myself, but also just like learning through reading books, which are really important. So like self-help books. I love reading self-help books, and I can even make a video about recommending some of the best self-help books that I've read, and things like that. If you guys are interested as well, let me know. And so yeah, reading books, watching videos. So like there's a lot of people that make videos like this, sharing their experiences, and I'm going to continue doing this on this channel as well. So watching videos like these, online content, you know, on social media, there's like people on Instagram, TikTok, like YouTube, making videos like this all the time, and they share their experiences, and they share, you know, some of the things that like are happening in society, and like what we can learn from, and how we can grow as like individuals, as people. So continuously keep learning, growing, and putting yourself out there. So learning through your own experiences as well, so getting out of your comfort zone, trying new things, coming face to face with your fears. I know, even though that's so scary, but like trust me, it's like one of the best ways for you to learn. And I have been continuously doing it for many years now, and I can tell you it's totally worth it, and it totally does help you to learn and grow. So learning through your own experiences, and also learning through other people's experiences. Like, you don't necessarily need to go through a lot of bad things to learn and to grow. Like, you can learn from other people's experiences too. And obviously, how somebody else's experience went doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be like that for you, but there are definitely lessons we can all take from each other's experiences and each other's trauma and bad past experiences, or like relationships, or like family situations, or I don't know, friendships, whatever. There's a lot we can all learn from each other, and of course learning from our own experiences, and also like watching like videos, reading books, things like that. So keep going, keep learning, and I think that's probably one of the best ways for you to keep improving your life. It's something I've been actively doing, and it totally works, I can tell you that. And my last point now is self-improvement and growth, and improving your life is a lifelong journey. Now, this is not something necessarily that I knew at the beginning of my journey, which is why I included this point in this video to end off with, because as important as all the points are, of course, you know, I think one of the things that people usually tend to forget, especially as you begin your journey, or if you're like, you know, pretty new to the journey of improving your life, improving yourself, loving yourself, people forget that it's like a lifelong journey. It's not just like, you know, something you achieve in 3 months, or like something you achieve in a year or 2 years, or, you know, like there's no need to put a time limit to these things, because as you keep growing as a person, you know, in age, whatever, like you're gonna keep, and you know, like gradually you're gonna grow in your self-worth, you're gonna grow as a person, as an individual, and you're gonna improve your life, improve yourself, love yourself more. Like, you know, it's a journey, and of course it's not like a woo journey. Like it's gonna be like ups and downs, but like you're going to go up. Like it's gonna improve, your life is gonna improve, you're gonna improve. But in order to do those things, you need to not give up, because it is a lifelong journey. And you know, being able to love and embrace that, because there is such a beauty in the fact that we, first of all, even get to live a life, and learning to love yourself and grow as a person is like a beautiful thing and a beautiful way to think as well. It's not like weight loss or like other things where you're trying to like succeed in 6 months, or like get this thing in. It's not something to achieve, it's not a title, you know. It's a lifelong journey. It's like, you know, you have a friend or whatever, and you know, you feel like they're gonna be your forever friend, and you know, you just want to like live that journey out with them or whatever, you know. It's like that. So having this relationship with yourself is also like a lifelong journey, and something to embrace and love. So I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, but there's such a beauty in this fact. And there's no need to be too harsh on yourself as well, you know. So like, I've been reading, so I was looking on the side of it, but there's no need to be harsh on yourself as well, because it is like ultimately a journey about loving yourself, loving your life, falling in love with your life and yourself. So being, you know, harsh on yourself, I think, and you know, like a lot of us probably have to learn to not be as harsh on ourselves. I've had to learn this, I'm still learning, you know. So like, we're really in this together, okay? Like we're all just learning and growing together. And being like very harsh on yourself, or being harsh on yourself, will really just like make you not want to do it, you know. It will discourage you from doing it. You will not want to like embark on this journey, and this is a beautiful journey. Like everyone should definitely in this lifetime go through this journey, because it is so worth it and it is so beautiful. And one of the other points that I really wanted to also link up with this final point is, and linking up with not being too harsh on yourself, is making mistakes. Because I know we are harsh on ourselves when we make mistakes, and we think, you know, we need to be perfect and we can't make mistakes and blah blah, but making mistakes is literally the best way to grow. Best way to grow, best way to learn. Learning from other people's experiences happens because they made the mistakes, so we can learn and they learned. Learning from your own experiences means you make mistakes, you put yourself out in there in the world, you even embarrass yourself, and you learn. The whole point of making mistakes isn't so that we beat ourselves down and we're harsh on ourselves. The whole point of making mistakes is so that we learn and we grow and we experience, and a lot of those mistakes we probably never make again, because if we've properly learned, like, we won't make those mistakes again, depending on how big the mistake is as well, because that also matters. But yeah, like, this is just a journey of loving and embracing who you are, your authenticity, and your life and yourself. And it's not about being harsh on yourself. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's where the real growth and change happens. And yeah, I think with that I will be ending this video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. If you have made it this far in this video, I want you to comment a red heart or a pink heart, and also let me know what you guys thought about this video. It is my very first video, so you know, I'm still learning and getting into this. But I had so much fun making this video, and let me know what you guys want to see. Tell me your experiences, you know, when did you start your self-love journey, your self-growth, self-improvement journey? How are you going? What kind of videos you guys want to see? Just, you know, let's talk. Like, write it down in the comments and let me know. And follow me on my TikTok as well. It is in my channel page, so if you go check that out. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking around. I'll see you all very, very soon. Mwah.